And we're live.
And we would constantly lose it. We would just be like, where? We called it the little remote because, you know, the big ones for the volume and such. He was like, has anyone seen the little remote? Did the dog eat it? Did the Pomeranian literally eat the fucking little remote? Like, it was so fucking tiny.
Dude, I saw a video of, it was on Reddit. You probably saw it too, because I know you go all Sarah. But the lady can't find her earpods. What are the Apple earpods called? Earpods. She can't find them. She's like, I don't know where they went, etc. She plays music and she goes over to this little like white Taylor style dog, and the belly of the dog is like playing Thunderstruck or something.
I did not see that.
He's just sitting there looking at the camera.
That's really funny. Oh, damn it! I wish it wasn't Thunderstruck. We could watch it.
Thunderstruck. The dog's just like
looking guiltily. Oh no!
Have you seen my earpods? And the dog looks real guilty.
Yeah, it's great.
He probably doesn't know that's coming from me.
I watched one guilty dog video the other day, and now it's all my YouTube feed is. It's just guilty
was it a husky
video
that ate was it?
And he's got the crazy eyes, like the crazy like blue eyes.
Yes. Oh,
is there
his eyes are like
guilty dogs? Yeah, of course there is.
Huskies are so expressive, right? That they almost talk in human words sometimes, and the way that they relate to people, it's super cool.
They vocalize in this. It's not. It's a lot of dogs are just like yap, and huskies are like, oh yeah. You're like, what did you fucking say to me? Oh, where are the play time?
Have you gone to r/guilty dogs?
No,
I'm at top all time of looking at guilty dogs. What a wonderful forum.
It's great. We don't deserve dogs. I've seen that written before. It's a bit cliche, but we really don't. They're too fucking good for us. I watched a video right before the show where like this guy's like 40 years old, and he's got like a dock in his backyard and a little pond, and he swings out on a rope swing and splashes down in his little pond. He's having fun, and his dog freaks the fuck out, like crying, like he thinks his owner is drowning, and he's like oh, and he's like swimming out to his owner to save him, crying the whole way. And the guy's just like, it's all right, buddy, I'm okay. He's like, oh good. He's so happy when he gets out there and realizes his daddy's not fucking drowning. It's great. Dog's the best.
This is thankfully my dogs aren't big enough to make this kind of mess, but it's so fucking cute. This is a good one.
Which one?
The one I just linked.
How far is it from the top I'm on there?
Oh, look at that pupper.
It's number 12 top all time. Look at that little fella.
The top comment, purely circumstantial, or he was praying.
You have no evidence that I did this.
Poor
I love dogs. Oh man, this is great. Yeah, I'm gonna subscribe to this one.
Yeah, I think I'm onto this one too. Where the new Reddit sucks so much.
So my
I always use the old one.
Or election night, where she was on Reddit, and or part of that was on Reddit, and she would alternate between the news threads and then AWW.
No,
the palette of like the bullshit that's coming out.
Look at kitties and things.
Yeah, cute animals. Yeah.
For people watching the show, this is the dog that refused to look at the camera, the husky that got Kyle doing husky impressions.
Fucking great. Yeah, whenever I see one of those huskies like that, I want one. Like I'm just like, that's, or maybe it's Malamutes or something like that. I think maybe
huskies,
that's just
huskies vocalize like that. My friend has one. You should get one once you're out in Colorado.
That's what I was thinking. Literally, like because I hate it when people have those cold weather dogs in the South, and it's like, the fuck are you doing with a husky in Florida, dude? Like they're not for this.
Or they have to have their hair cut so short that it's like, now you just look weird. You don't look like what a husky should look like.
What do you guys think then of like the COVID stuff with all the animal shelters, like having all the animals going home? Think that's a good thing? Or do you think that's like the most selfish fucking thing you've ever heard in your life?
To get rid of the wait,
I don't understand. Like, animals going home sounds great.
So part of the thing that happened to these with COVID is that people want companions, so that the companionship, so they go and get animals out of these homes, and there's I think this was, I don't know how like widespread this is. I see this on Reddit, so God alone knows what amount of reporting this is, but I see these various ones pop up of like, oh, this is the first time in 10 years that we've had no animals at the shelter kind of deal. And one part of me like, that's great they're getting home. Another part of me is how fucking selfish you have to be that like you're like, I'm so bored right now, I'm going to pick up an animal, had no interest before that. And what do you think the likelihood is that they kind of abide by that commitment? What happens the minute COVID goes away with all these animals? They're going to get returned? Like it's just
no, probably not.
Depressing statement.
Probably most of them will get kept. I mean, when you get a dog, you tend to form a bond with it. You don't want to have a dog for like 8 months and then be like cashing out.
Rivers with arrows in their head. Some people don't form a bond.
Who's doing that?
Arrows.
Wait, what? Rivers with arrows in there? I didn't follow.
People are not executing dogs with bow and arrows by river. What world do you live in?
He's in the Game of Thrones universe.
Even that's a better ending of Game of Thrones right there. Just
welcome to the filthy shelter. Do you have a bow and arrow? You failed the application. Yeah, I know what you're thinking about doing.
You just take a couple of shots with the bow. If you hit the bullseye, you can have the dog.
Well, it should be if they miss the bullseye, they can have the dog, right? Oh. So then the dogs will be safe. Yeah, I think people are going to keep the dogs. And a lot of people are going to be spending more time at home.
Some will, and some will abandon them on the highway.
And by the way, what happens to the dogs in the shelter? People don't get them.
Yeah, they eat them.
No, they gas them or something.
I thought they fed them to the other dogs.
Yeah, I mean, they
circle of life.
Worst case scenario, these dogs get another year or two that they wouldn't have had.
Yeah, and they're not living in a prison anymore. That's pretty nice, I bet. There's no way they're fans of that.
Kyle, better out of prison.
Spend all day looking only into the eyes of another sad dog. It's so depressing in those.
Yeah, I don't understand your point of view, how like it's selfish to adopt a dog.
Because they weren't going to before. They had no real interest in it before. But what they've done is they've felt some emotional, like, oh, I can't see my friends and I'm feeling a little bit down. Oh no, I'll get a dog. Without any of the thought process of, well, what is it going to take care of it? Did I really want one? Is this really a good decision for me? It just seems so reactive to an emotional state, and I can't imagine it turning out well. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just entirely wrong. But I saw that and read that and I was like, this is so fucking depressing.
I don't know. It's less depressing than them dying in a shelter because no one wants them. I'm willing to bet that statistically none of these dogs are killed with bow and arrows. Rounding up, it's going to be zero. It's going to be none. If you're going to kill a dog, you're not going to take it to the woods and shoot it with a bow and arrow. You just probably hit it with a shovel or something, right?
Buried alive. They're trusting. Jesus. You can do anything you want.
Do anything. God, you're right. They are too good for it. I was just thinking about that. I could dig a hole in my backyard and put Fozzie in there and start shoveling the dirt on him. And he would be looking up at me wagging like, pretty soon that there's going to be a tennis ball involved, I bet.
He would help you dig the hole.
Oh man, we have so much fun, don't we?
I think if you're going to kill
we're playing
your dog,
hide and seek now, huh?
Yeah.
I thought,
love you.
How would I kill a dog? Right? You guys talk about the shovel, the burying aloud, the rotor. Rotor's got to be the way.
So you have to give it some respect in death. It's not
appropriate. Don't murder a dog.
He's trusting
here. Come on now.
Abuse that trust.
I don't like that.
The nicest way.
Too far.
You know what? Here's how you kill a dog. You give it all of the chocolate and grapes that it wants. Because it'll poison itself with all the delicious food and then it'll die. So it'll get a really nice meal out of it.
So I know grapes are toxic to dogs. Are raisins? Because, I'm aware that.
I think so. Right? This is the same thing.
So chocolate covered raisins are like cyanide coated bullets for a dog.
I remember you said chocolate covered raisins and it had like one of those memories, like almost like one of those scent memories in my head. I remember I was maybe 6 years old watching the old live action Davy Crockett on like some summer day, and I had a giant, like one of those Utz pretzels bins, but full of chocolate covered raisins. And I remember eating them by the handful, not even liking them that much, but it was the only snack we had in the house. And I was just shoveling it down the entire time. And I just remember sitting there watching, it was during the wrestling scene where he's about to fight and he's like, no holds barred. And they're about to fight right out front of the barn. And I just go, I threw up so many raisins and chocolate and just a thick paste all over this bed.
When was this?
I was like 6.
I was really hoping this was last week.
This was right before my burrito. I had to make room. But I still, it must be the scent and the feel of that vomit, because immediately, and I don't think I've had a chocolate covered raisin since. Oh man, I
like them a lot. They're actually like one of my favorite things.
I don't have them much. Sometimes at movies, but I love them. Kyle, I looked up the raisin thing. Grapes and raisins are both poisonous to dogs. Oddly, they don't know which substance in them is toxic, which surprised me. And then here's the bit that I thought was neat. Well, new to me. Macadamia nuts can cause weakness, depression, vomiting, tremors, and hypothermia in dogs.
What? That is bizarre.
Weakness, depression, vomiting, tremors, and hypothermia. Okay. No macadamia nuts.
No macadamia nuts, yeah. Unless you want to
no garlic.
Freeze your dog to death.
Right. Yeah, I like Huskies a lot, but I've thought to myself that a Husky in North Carolina might be a form of animal abuse.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. You know, like I like little dogs a lot though. I don't know. I've thought about getting a dog, but I really just don't want the responsibility. And you know, I kind of side with some of what Filthy was saying. It would be selfish for me to get a dog, like maybe like one of those lazy fucking dogs that never wants to go out. They're just like, can't I just shit in a box? I'm little. Like those
takes a series of naps throughout the day, and it's like they they lay on the bed, sleeping with us. Then morning, come out, start my day. They come out, sleep on the couch, and it's like, for the longest time, they would badger us late at night, like, come on, it's time to go back to the awesome place, bed. Like, let's go lay down to bed. I've had a busy day of 3 naps. And so, like, but it's almost like they had an epiphany like 3 days ago, where one of them just like popped up on the couch in the middle of the day and then just ran into the bedroom and must have been like, hey, other one, we can actually lay in here during the day. And so they started like just administering naps in bed throughout the day. They are the laziest fucking dogs. That's the kind of dog you need. One of these.
Yeah. Because I love that. I love napping with dogs and just like getting little fella and like cuddling up with them. Yeah, it's great.
And they're so small. Like he can get exhausted from a game of fetch when I throw the tennis ball down my hallway. Like he'll get so pooped from that.
Because we had dachshunds and those would not get those would go all day. Just super hyper. Like we had one of those machines that would throw the ball for it, and she'd just fucking hit that button all fucking day and go. Like just endless energy. Or she'd go outside and hunt lizards. Like she must have killed 1,000 lizards. It was like a lizard genocide.
Great Danes are the opposite. They're just lazy all day. We watch that baby now, and Ender in particular, like, I don't know, just keeps an eye on her constantly. So when she goes home, he is exhausted. He's had a rough day of looking at a kid. And
they're protective. Yeah, he knows it's a baby.
Maybe. Yeah. I wish
I had a girlfriend with Jack Russell Terriers. It used to drive me fucking nuts. We'd bring them up to the Arboretum and like you'd walk them, and then they would sleep in the car ride back. And I remember like riding back in the car, getting angry at them sleeping because I knew that as soon as we got back, they'd want to run and play again. I'd be like, "You fuckers, we just brought you somewhere, and now it's like you're sleeping now as we can't be resting." Just to drive me nuts.
Not a very good conception of time for the dogs. But the thing, my dog is mixed. So I got half poodle. I've said that before, because if you don't want to deal with shedding or allergies for anyone, you have to mix a poodle in there. And then the other, it's mixed with called a King or a Cavalier King Charles. It's like known for like being, it's a smaller, like really fluffy, bigger eared dog. And it's just known for being chill as fuck. Like I remember looking at like the descriptions of the kinds of dogs, and it was like, this is a great dog if you want a dog who's very exercise averse. He'll run around, but he'll get pooped quick, and then
they're great for coma patients.
All they want to do is snuggle.
Or it's like a wheel, and it's like this one is for relaxation, and this one is for like imagination. Do they have it for the dogs as well?
Yeah, it's like a stat wheel, and so it'll be like German Shepherd, like needs an insane amount of exercise, so much attention and activity. It's going to be go, and this one, it was like its favorite thing to do is to sleep curled up next to your thigh.
It's actually it's called the goldfish dog. You really just put it in a tank and leave it alone. It sleeps all day, and their memory's like 3 minutes. They don't remember if you walked them or not.
I saw a cartoon, and it was like 12 dog owners at the dog park, all of them with an identical thought bubble saying, "I'm so lucky that I got the best dog." And that's how I feel right now. Like every one of us is like, yeah, the kind of dog I got is clearly the best one. So dogs are great.
Yeah, there are very few shitty dogs. I mean, they exist.
Yeah, but usually they were fucked with or something too.
It's funny. My neighbors always seem to have them.
Oh, maybe they're. What kind of dog are they?
Not for long.
No, not specifically. Just there's always fucking yapping dogs wherever I've lived.
Oh.
Drives you nuts.
Yes.
Go get yourself some chocolate covered raisins and solve that little issue.
Chocolate covered.
I dated a girl, actually the same
raisin
girl,
Damien nuts,
who had their childhood dog killed by someone putting antifreeze out. And then
probably a shitty dog.
Quite
I've heard of that.
Oh, but that's awful. Putting antifreeze out to murder a dog.
Who would do that sort of thing?
Like an actual serial killer. Like that's the kind of person who would do that.
She was in high school when that happened.
Yeah, I've never done anything like that.
I fucking hope not. Just randomly putting bowls around.
Never told that story on this show.
Did you?
And I don't remember that story on the show.
I don't remember you saying that.
Good.
Maybe
was it a shitty dog?
It was a lot of shitty dogs.
There's a whole pound of them.
Was it a revenge killing? Is that what this?
Yeah, it was revenge killing. Yeah.
It's a revenge killing. It wasn't Jack, was it?
They killed one of ours, so
they killed one of ours. So it was like one of those monkey tribal battles you'll see.
Exactly.
In, like,
there was some gangs in New York shit.
Their dogs had to pay, Taylor.
They had to pay.
You know, when you're wrong, I suppose.
That's right.
I didn't know that they fired the first shot.
They did fire the first shot.
Did you kill the dog that was the guilty?
You couldn't be sure which one did it, so
you have to kill
them. Just had to get them all.
So wait, the other dogs were the killers. You weren't after the dog owners. You were after the
no.
dogs
The dogs had killed our dog. They had crushed him. Little Hank, the Jack Russell Terrier.
And it's also incredibly difficult to trick an adult into drinking a cup of antifreeze.
No,
it's really hard because I mean it's sweet, but it's just sickly green, and
it's like a new kind of live wire. You know, try.
Had it been battery acid, I mean, people lick that shit up. But antifreeze, we know better.
Bud Light Blue Raspberry. Go down like water.
That makes me sick to my stomach just thinking about it.
Blue raspberry.
Blue raspberry.
That's never been a flavor I've liked in candies and anything. Not a fan of blue raspberry.